first derby of the season's in the books, and if you didn't watch it, it was a feisty affair. I think I'm gonna be like Anthony Taylor out here dealing with Thomas Tuchel and Antonio Conte. I think it's gonna get a little dicey. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. With me tonight, that's Brad. He supports Chelsea. And down below that, Sean, he supports Tottenham Hotspurs. Gentlemen, hello. Salutations. Good evening. Good morning. How are you guys?
I don't know what you mean by feisty. Only one of the teams got yellows. I think it was a one-sided crude fest by one team just playing dirty.
I mean, I have a feeling we're going to have some statistics about yellow cards in that match. Somebody, I think, is queuing some information up for us.
We'll see here.
What? I'm just looking at the stat sheet. Only, one team got 3 yellow cards and clearly were very aggressive to the point that the referee felt they needed to be booked. And the other team was making good, clean, actually talented tackles that got the ball and didn't need to have a card involved.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't know this was a wrestling match.
Hold on. I'm going to stop you guys because I want to preserve this energy until we get into that conversation. But I'm going to stop you because I do want to go through all of the scores first and bring everyone up to speed. So just to get everyone caught up, match week 2 kicked off with Villa hosting Everton Saturday morning. Villa get their first win of the season. They beat Everton 2-1. Languishes Everton in 19th position, so they've got a lot of work to do. Arsenal hosted Leicester. Arsenal get the 4-2 victory. Brighton hosting Newcastle. That game ends in a 0-0 draw. City beat Bournemouth by 100-0. Southampton Leeds ends in a 2-2 draw. Wolves Fulham ends in a 0-0 draw. Brentford hosting United. Surely United didn't lose to Brentford, right, guys? Surely.
Never.
It's a barn burner.
Brentford get the 4-0 victory, scoring 4 goals in the first 35 minutes of the match. That was not on my bingo card.
Not mine either.
Nottingham Forest hosting West Ham United. Nottingham Forest pick up not only their first goal in the Premier League in 23 years, they also get their first victory in the Premier League in 23 years. So big ups to Nottingham Forest. Welcome back to the Premier League. I hope it's a long and illustrious stay and that you give Arsenal 6 points every year. Chelsea hosting Spurs at the Battle for the Bridge. That game ended in a 2-2 draw. Late drama in that one. We'll get into that. And Liverpool hosting Palace. 10 men of Liverpool come back to secure 1 point. They were down a goal against Palace, and Darwin Núñez gets sent off for doing his best Olivier Giroud impression. And Liverpool, 10 men Liverpool, Luis Diaz scores a worldie to mix up
your Frenchman. That was Zinedine Zidane.
No.
Well, we got multiple Frenchmen out here headbutting people.
Yeah, we got multiple. It's a thing. It's a thing apparently.
It's a French thing.
Yeah, it's obviously because Giroud did it at least twice. I feel like. All right, let's look where that leaves us on the league table after 2 games played. Again, this is my caveat. The league table is useless until match week 10. With that out of the way, Manchester City sit first, Arsenal are second, Brentford are third, Tottenham are fourth, Newcastle are fifth, Leeds 6th, Chelsea, Brighton, Villa, Nottingham Forest, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Fulham, Wolves, Leicester City, Crystal Palace, Southampton, and in the relegation zones this early in the season, it's Everton, West Ham, and Manchester United. Manchester United, 2 games played, 0 goals scored, 5 conceded. They are...
You got 1 goal scored, 6 conceded.
Oh, they scored against Brighton? That's right, they did. I apologize. I forgot.
The funniest thing I have seen from the weekend was that if they do not score against Liverpool, they will have to use the own goal as the goal of the month.
Yeah.
Because that's literally the only goal that they put in the back of the net.
That tweet specifically tripped me up, made me think that they hadn't scored yet, which I guess technically they haven't scored yet, but an own goal is still a goal.
That's the only ball they put in the back of the net.
All right.
Was an own goal.
Yeah, Brad.
Preview for Friday. If United beat Liverpool, they go from 20th to above Liverpool. On the table.
Liverpool have 2 points this season, so we'll
2 points.
2 points.
Wow.
All right. Let's we are going to start. Loyal listeners, if you are a Brighton fan, I must apologize to you because the nature of the new Red Card Radio doesn't afford us too much time anymore. We're trying to keep this more concise, more compact, and I have a feeling that the majority of our conversation tonight will be contained in and around the London derby that took place this week. But we are first because this podcast is obligated to throw shade at Manchester United whenever and wherever possible. We must pile on. So we will be starting at Brentford at the Community Stadium in London. Brentford hosting Manchester United. Eric Ten Hag, undeterred from the Brighton loss, makes just a few swaps, makes just a few changes to the team, included Cristiano Ronaldo, but the back line was the same. And boys, they got drubbed. Just absolutely
dragged,
blitzed.
I was in public for this with Brittany, and executive producer. She, after the first one, she had her back to the TV that this was on. After the first one, I said, "Oh no!" After De Gea, it goes through De Gea's hands.
That was so
and
bad.
I was like, "Oh no!" And I was like, "You have to stop that." And then she came around and watched the replay. Her exact non-football watching quote was, "That's literally like his only job." And I was like, "Yes, Brittany, that is literally his only job." Yes, that is correct.
I don't know if my mother watched that match or not, if it was on at my family's house. But my mom, when she watches American football, she's very serious about kickers making field goals. And if you miss a field goal, she's out here firing people. She's like, "Oh, he should lose his job. He should be fired." So I would imagine her reaction to that first David De Gea blunder would be, he needs to be fired. Like it was so bad. For context, for those of you who didn't see it, the first Brentford goal, Brentford steal the ball from Ronaldo about 40 yards, 35 yards away from the United goal. They make a couple passes, advance the ball, shot from just outside the 18-yard box, curling to the bottom right-hand corner of De Gea's goal, and De Gea gets
a good shot.
It's
a good shot.
It's a good shot.
Both hands.
De Gea touches the ball with both hands. It spills underneath his hands because he doesn't get on the floor. And
his body
spills into the goal for an unlikely
the worst goal,
goal
of the weekend.
For those who didn't see it, we still haven't described how routine a save this was. This was not full extension. It happened to hit his fingertips and go in. That it hit both hands. He's leaning to his left, going to the ground. His hands are just underneath his rib cage. The ball hits both of his hands and goes underneath of him, behind him, into the goal.
This is if you're an American sports fan, this is a routine ground ball hit to the second baseman. Second baseman doesn't put his glove in the dirt, and it goes directly through his legs.
That's exactly what happened.
He
could have actually stood up and just kicked it away.
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
This is screen pass from the quarterback to the running back, hits the running back in the hands, and the running back just drops it.
This is butt fumble bad.
Yeah, this is LeBron James missing a 15-footer. Like it's routine. It couldn't possibly be more routine for a goalkeeper of David De Gea's stature. I think Sean could have made that save. That's how routine I think it was. And Sean's out here saving 9 out of 10 Zlatan Ibrahimovic penalties. So
yeah, that's right.
But
second goal, not much better.
De Gea wasn't finished yet.
It gets worse, folks.
He wasn't finished yet. Manchester United had a goal kick. They do the weird center back on the 6-yard line, kicks the ball to the goalkeeper, also on the 6-yard line to get the ball back into play, and then De Gea rolls the ball out to a approaching Christian Eriksen. Christian Eriksen's running back towards the goal. De Gea passes it to him.
A poor
pass. Yeah. Christian Eriksen tries to hook the ball around the approaching Brentford player. It fails miserably. Brentford player has the ball in the 18-yard box completely alone and just slots into the back of the net 2-0. So if you're counting, that's 2 major errors on David De Gea. I hope that anyone who's playing EPL fantasy or FPL that they did not triple captain De Gea this week, because wowzer, that was bad.
It's
and these
also in
were
a span
8
of
minutes
5 minutes.
apart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
8
So
minutes
I knew it was close.
apart.
Yeah. Third goal was the corner. And Lisandro Martinez, 5'9", according to Manchester United, 5'9". Lisandro Martinez slips at the back post and doesn't get a ball that he probably should have gotten. Brentford go up 3-0. And then the fourth goal is a counterattack. And I think, Sean, you have another funny oh no anecdote about that one.
That was first of all, I audibly oh no'd at all 4 goals. Not even that I feel bad at United, but this one even more so, because when that ball was cleared, we've all collectively played enough FIFA. When that ball got cleared and I saw the player going across the midfield line with no defender with him, I was like, oh no. That was my first thought. And then I saw the other player running with someone on his shoulder, and he put a perfect pass onto his feet and right in front of him, perfectly weighted. And I was like, oh no, that's a goal. That's a goal. Like, there's nothing. That one is the only thing that happened all yesterday that was not De Gea's fault, because there is just about no goalkeeper in the world that's going to save that.
Yeah. I mean, you might give him a pass for the corner as well, but
but
United look in shambles. I was saying Ten Hag needed to make what?
Martinez should have been at that back post. I mean, he was,
yeah,
but
he
he's
slept.
way too like I have thoughts.
He was falling.
There is an argument to be said, and I think I brought this up last week during the preview. I said I think Ivan Toney is going to bully Lisandro Martinez. And I thought, I've been saying, I think Martinez needs to be playing at the left, and Varane and Maguire need to be playing center back. I think that would look better. It would be better. I think that's what Ten Hag does against Liverpool. I hope that's what Ten Hag does against Liverpool.
I think there's a different solution. Luke Shaw's fine. He's not great, but he's fine. I think you get rid of Fred.
And put Martinez
and let Martinez be in the midfield. Yes.
It's an argument.
And let him be a ball-winning CDM.
That could be interesting.
He can do that. Like, he can run, he can move, he can get into passing lanes. He just will get bodied. And it's okay to get bodied at the half line when like there's a goal kick and the forward goes up and heads it backwards. That's okay. When you're defending the back post and all Ben Mee has to do is fall backwards because you can't stop him to score the goal,
that's a problem.
You shouldn't be there.
That's a problem.
Yes.
So they've got some things to figure out. Luckily for them, they have a pretty easy game coming up next Monday. It's a small club from Liverpool. They wear like red shirts. I think their name is Liverpool, so they should win that game, right? That's easy first 3 games.
Totally.
Easy 3 points.
You know what this reminds me of? Oh, go ahead, James. Go ahead, Sean. You first.
I was just gonna say, it's funny you mentioned Shaw, because he got subbed off because of that 4th goal. And I didn't really think of it at the moment. My United friend pointed out, Luke Shaw has, on that 4th goal, you have to foul that guy. You have to just eat your yellow before the box. You have to take him down.
Yeah, you're talking about before the pass. The guy
like while the pass is going, when he gets the ball, take him down. Whatever, you got to do something.
The problem is that could be a denial of a goal scoring opportunity, red card, and then he misses 3 matches, which he might not mind because United are a dumpster fire. He might not mind having 3 days off, 3 games off. But if you're going to foul him, if Luke Shaw's going to foul him, he has to foul him well before the pass in the midfield, clearly hold him back. Because then there is an argument that it's not a clear goal scoring opportunity because A, he doesn't have the ball, and B, the ball is way elsewhere and there's other things going on the pitch. So I don't know if you can make that a denial of a clear goal scoring opportunity. Ten Hag's got a lot to figure out.
So this kind of is reminding me, and it's much, much worse than Arsenal was last year, right?
Yes.
But 3 games into the season, Arsenal lost all 3 games last year.
Yes. I will have caveats
Then-
about this, but
Then they swap goalies to Ramsdale. And
Dean
they
Hender-
go on a tear.
Dean Henderson's at Forest.
That's what I'm saying. They don't have the Ramsdale. They sent their Ramsdale to Forest.
Okay. I would
Who
also,
saved the penalty, who had a great save.
I will
in that game.
I will also point out that Arsenal, if you've been watching All or Nothing, this will have refresh your memory. As an Arsenal fan, never forgot this, but our first game against Brentford was COVID. We were decimated by COVID. Second game was against Chelsea. Third game was against Manchester City. So like you could make an argument that we deserve to lose 2 of those 3 games. The Brentford game, Leno did get fouled on the throw-in, but we still lost. We didn't create enough opportunities. So whatever.
Sure. But
So
that
different
change
context,
is
different
what
context. I don't think Ramsdale specifically is what got us to beat. I think it was Norwich. I think it was Norwich was our 4th game. I don't think it was Ramsdale specifically. But maybe, who knows? But yeah, we need to leave it there. They've got a lot to figure out. I'm glad that I'm not Ten Hag and that I'm not a United fan, because this feels really bad. I mean, I was there last year, but it feels much worse because at least there's some optimism around Arsenal. That just seems like a dreadful place to be. But we need to switch our attention to Chelsea Spurs. So we all made some previews. We all made some predictions into this game. Brad predicted a 2-1 victory for Chelsea. Sean predicted,
which it should have been.
Hold on, you be quiet. Sean predicted a 3-0 victory for Spurs. I predicted 2-0 victory for Spurs. Will hit us up in the comments. Appreciate this, Will. He believed it would be a 3-1 victory for Spurs. We were all wrong. It was a 2-2 draw. That was the official scoreline.
I wasn't wrong.
I
wasn't wrong. Anthony Taylor was wrong. But first, hey Sean, speaking of Anthony Taylor, I got your dog walking leash right here. For that dog walking you said we were going to get, but I got it right here for you, and I actually arranged for Anthony Taylor to hold the leash for you guys. He's the only reason why you guys got a point.
I just disagree.
Oh, wait a second. So let's go. Let's do the Liverpool game really quickly. Nunez touches his head like a lot less of a headbutt than what Tuchel and Conte got into, and he's out 5 games. Romero is still getting the hairs off of his hand from Cucurella, and he is perfectly fine playing next week.
We need some context here. If you haven't seen this match, there was an incident in the 95th minute on a corner kick. Spurs were taking a corner kick. The game was the score was 2-1 Chelsea at this moment, and Spurs are taking a penalty, taking a corner. It gets played in, it gets deflected. Chelsea save it, goes out for another corner. Replay shows us that Christian Romero gets a fistful of hair of a fistful of hair on Cucurella, yanks him down, and so there's some talk that the VAR is looking at it, might be violent conduct. Anyway, nothing comes of it. Anthony Taylor's like, move on. Mike Dean apparently in the VAR suite says move on, and on the ensuing corner, the very next corner, Harry Kane scores the equalizer. Game ends in a 2-2 draw. So that's the context around what Brad's talking about.
Well,
that's not even to mention. Hold on. The first goal, when Bentancur takes down Havertz, he stops. He stops playing and is like, "Where's the whistle?" He knew it was a foul. Not Anthony Taylor.
It wasn't I've gone back and meticulously watched this replay, and as much as you don't want to admit it, Brad, Bentancur wins the ball. Hit the ball.
If Bentancur stops and was looking at the referee like he's about to jog back into place where he's to go, that's a foul.
He stops because the ball is rolling to another one of our players, so he doesn't need to go get it.
No, he's looking at the ref. He's not looking anywhere else but at the referee, waiting for that to be a foul.
Or he's looking at the referee to see if the ref is going to call a foul. But he does win the ball.
That's a foul.
There's a replay. So there's 2 replays that we saw on the broadcast. One is behind Anthony Taylor. So you see Anthony Taylor's head, you see it down, and Bentancur is making the tackle, and you see the ball move. And so you're confused. It doesn't look like Bentancur touches the ball, but the ball moves before he touches Havertz. And you're like, I can see why Anthony Taylor didn't think that was a foul. The linesman who was standing right there didn't think it was a foul. And so you're like, okay, I can understand why the refs don't think it's a foul. The other replay was from behind and was from the sideline, and it didn't look like Bentancur won the ball. Now, Go back. I found it on Reddit a day later or later that night. And you can clearly see that the ball moves. Bentancur's foot goes in. The ball moves when his foot is near the ball. And then he takes out Havertz. So I know
when his foot is near the ball. Hold on a second. You didn't say he touched the ball. You said when his foot is near the ball. That doesn't mean he touched it.
Brad,
no.
Brad, I can't.
I disagree.
I cannot definitively tell you that his foot touched the ball. But what I can tell you is that when his foot was very close to the ball, was in the vicinity of the ball, was very close to it, the ball moved. So
the ball didn't change direction. The ball was still moving from when Havertz kicked it.
The ball moved irregularly. Okay, you can deny this all you want. That's fine. I understand you're heated about it, but the ball definitively irregularly moves. That's all I'm saying. So Bentancur wins the ball. That's all I'm saying. I'm a neutral.
We're talking about the wrong Cucurella moment. The Cucurella moment that we should be talking about is when he egregiously stamped on Romero's thigh, and which was not called by the biased Anthony Taylor.
All right. I'm gonna push back on you here, Sean, because that's ridiculous. You have taken the situation and you're watching it on half speed because that's why it looks egregious. If you watch it at full speed, Cucurella never looks at Romero. He has just been tackled. Romero's on the ground and his foot happens to land on Romero's thigh. There's no way that's a red card. There's no way that's a stamp for violent conduct. I understand you're memeing, but in the order of fairness, I needed to push back on you on that point because I knew you were gonna bring it up.
So, to address Brad's point with the little baby hair tug. First of all,
what? Okay, his head is here, and then his head is here. You're right.
First of all,
you're right.
Things we haven't explored on this so far.
You're right.
It was just a gentle, playful, no more than a bedroom hair pull. Like we haven't asked the question of if Cucurella likes it. Maybe he likes it.
Oh man, this is not the argument.
Second of all, riddle me this, Batman. Do you know the definition of a foul, Brad?
Yeah, pulling somebody's hair.
No, the definition of a foul is an action.
You're absolutely crazy.
The definition of a foul is an action that causes the ref to blow his little whistle and point in a direction, which did not occur on that play because no whistles were blown and no fingers were pointed. So there was no foul on that play.
Which should have occurred.
It didn't,
1,000%
so it's not a foul.
Should have occurred. No. The FA is trying to fuck over Chelsea just like Anthony Taylor does every fucking time.
Oh my goodness. Get out of here with this conspiracy.
What do you mean? The referee the FA is 100% protecting Anthony Taylor. That is a foul. So you mean to tell me I can just run up to a player like at the kickoff, I can just run up to a player and pull on his hair and nothing happens? You're lying. That's a foul every single time.
I agree with you, Brad.
There is no context whatsoever that says pulling somebody's head from here all the way down there to the ground is not a foul.
Okay, I am gonna be the only one that speaks on authority from being in an athletic environment, having long hair, because none of you guys have ever experienced that in your life. You've never had your hair pulled in an athletic event. I have experienced this. There is no way that Cucurella liked it in that moment, that he did not enjoy it. But at the same time, he did not yank his head off. He pulled his head. He pulled his hair. It's obviously violent conduct. It's obviously a red card. I think that your aggression and your anger is misdirected here, Brad. You need to be upset at Mike Dean. You need to be upset at VAR. You need to not. Anthony Taylor has a lot of stuff going on at that moment. We've all seen that replay. Hold on a second. No. This is where I'm going with that, Brad. I'm going to the same place you're going. There's the replay from behind Anthony Taylor looking in, and you can see Anthony Taylor, and you can see that the hair pull is right there, but the play is to the right of that. Anthony Taylor can't be watching that. He needs to be focusing on the ball and what's going on around the ball. And so you need to give Anthony Taylor a pass on that specific play because he has so much going on in the box. He can't watch everything. But
he has a linesman there watching the ball. But he does not get a pass on this. He didn't even go look. Like Mike Dean, okay, maybe it is Mike Dean, because he didn't even go look at the fucking thing to see this violent conduct.
Because he's not allowed to just go look, Brad.
Right, but Mike Dean didn't pull it up. Nothing happened. It was in his line of sight. You're completely wrong on this.
Brad,
it was 1,000% on his line of sight.
Brad, have you ever officiated a sporting event before?
if it's
No,
something is
no,
directly in
no,
front of me,
no.
between me and
Answer.
the ball where it
No,
is.
you're not answering the question I'm asking you. Have you ever officiated a sporting event, a serious sporting
Yes.
event? What?
Yes.
What? If you
College volleyball. I was a line judge
Okay, so what was your job there?
to watch the line.
To watch the line, and that's all you did, right?
Yeah, so
To
you're
watch.
gonna
Yes.
you're gonna see double hits down the line.
Are you going to see someone carrying the ball not on the line?
If it's near the line, yes. If it's in my line of sight, yes.
No, I'm sorry, Brad.
Yes.
This is not a good take. This is not a good take.
No.
You,
It's
you,
in his line of sight. I
you are-
disagree. It's in
you-
his vision. I disagree.
Speaking of line of sight,
It's both of them.
where was the
It's
where
both
was
of
the
them.
line? Where was the line? Whenever the line of sight was gone from Reece James to Hume's son
And all
was
of
gone,
Bentaker and Hoiberg's tackles.
Reece
Look, if you
James
really
would
want to play as
just
a should have
take
been
down
as a
Son.
10-on-8. If you wanted to take out Reece, cool. Then Bentaker, Hoiberg, and Romero are all gone, so it's 10-on-8. I don't know if the game can still play if there's only 8 players on the
I
field.
said this when I was arguing with you before. Hoiberg and
can 8 players be
Bentaker
on
and
there?
Romero were making skillful, actual challenges on the ball that could be debated.
You're memeing this, and it's hilarious.
This
how
is my
sad you are
actual.
now.
This
Look
is
at
my
this.
only point. That's not a meme. They're making actual tackles on the ball
they're
that can be
not.
debated whether that's a foul or not. What is not debatable is when Reece James grabs Son and guides him down because he can't keep up with him. That isn't a professional foul where you just eat your yellow. He got past me. I can't let him pass me. I get a yellow. That's
There were
all
3
that
or
is.
4 of those each for Bentaker and Hoiberg. So you're wrong. So there was
Any
3 or 4
professional
technical
fouls?
fouls
Pull
for
them
each of
up.
them.
Pull them up.
I'll find them. I'll send them to you.
They're not
It'll be on the
professional
Twitter
fouls.
account.
They're
I'll send
going
them
in
to
and
Twitter
getting the
account.
ball.
I'll
Going in
I'll
and
put them on
getting the
Twitter
ball.
account.
there is a difference
You're
between
100% wrong on this.
I think that okay. I think Sean has a good point about Reece James. There were multiple professional fouls that Anthony Taylor they happened outside of Anthony Taylor's line of sight, so he didn't see them, so he didn't call them. The linesman clearly didn't see them, and I don't think a professional foul is something that VAR intervenes with.
No.
The first foul, yes, but on the very first professional foul, he gets a yellow card. Where Bentaker and Hoiberg were slide tackling every single person,
and pulls them
should have
down.
already been on yellow cards. The fact that Tottenham ended with 0 yellow cards or 0 red cards is the most horseshit thing about this entire match.
Them not ending with a red card, I agree with you, is wrong. But Chelsea fans need to be upset at VAR. You guys should not be upset about Anthony Taylor.
No, this keeps happening.
I watched the game. Anthony Taylor.
We win less than half the games that he referees.
We just talked about this, Brad. You win less than half of those games. First of all, there's 3 types of decisions. It's not less than half and then you lose more than half. You also draw some of those games. So let's take that out of the fray. Not to mention, he's one of the most high-profile referees in the league. So the games that he is refereeing, you're playing Liverpool, City, United, Tottenham.
Arsenal.
You're playing Arsenal,
Bro.
You're playing better teams in the league. So yeah, you're not going to win those games as much.
Yeah. You're Anthony Taylor, Michael Oliver, Mike Dean, the top tier, I'm air quoting that if you're on the podcast. The top tier refs in England get those top 8, top 10 type matches, the big derbies, things like that. Chelsea don't have an above 50% win rate in those matches. They don't. City might, Liverpool might, but those might be the only 2 that have an above. Maybe Tottenham last year because they beat City twice. But
give me those names again real quick.
Just it's a top 8. Take the
ref
top 8
names. No, the refs names.
Oliver,
the refs name again.
Oliver Dean Taylor.
Let's put it into his magic Reddit button or whatever he's got to pull up referees hating.
But I think that we have glossed over the most important aspect of this Chelsea Tottenham game. And it's unfortunate because we're going to have to do this quick. But obviously the most important talking point about this match is the beef, the simmering beef between Thomas Tuchel and Antonio Conte. So Spurs score their first equalizer. Hoiberg scores. And Tottenham, they're upset because they think that Bentaker fouled Kai Havertz on the lead up. Which we just discussed a minute ago. It was clearly not a foul. And then Jorginho does a madness in the box and tries to do a back heel and passes it right to Hoiberg, I think it is, and Hoiberg just scores. So if Chelsea fans want to be upset about anything on the first goal, they should be mad at Jorginho for giving Spurs the ball right outside their penalty area. But
Or the ref, because that's a foul.
Okay, sure. Watch everyone. I invite you to watch the highlights and make your own decision about whether or not you think that the Bentancur on Havertz foul leading up to Spurs' first goal is a foul. I invite you to leave your comments. But so Conte is celebrating and Tuchel just comes sprinting over and these two just get into it. They're jawing at each other, chest to chest.
What was funny about that was Conte's first reaction was he jumped in the air like a kid on Christmas and ran down the tunnel and comes back to find this angry, out of control, ill-tempered, tall string bean leg MFer in his own technical area that needed to go back to his own. The mad German was in the wrong spot talking crap.
He was yelling at the refs at first.
Yeah. So they get into it.
He was 100% yelling at the refs.
Well, let me tell you, the fourth ref ain't in the Tottenham technical area.
Wouldn't you be upset with somebody if they beat you 4 times in a row? And this should have been the 5th.
All right. We're okay. So
I'd be mad too.
They both get yellow cards. And then of course the acrimonious ending that we have talked about, and they go to leave. The match is over. For some reason they decide they need to shake hands. This seems like a bad decision to me, because I will tell you that my managers have gotten into spats with the managers of Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, and the way to play it is the Arsene Wenger, Jose Mourinho play is to just ignore each other. Don't talk to each other. Jose Mourinho and Arsene Wenger almost got into a fist fight in the middle of a match in the technical areas at Stamford Bridge.
It's true.
And Wenger just ignored him forever after that. Never shook his hand again. I don't think he ever spoke to him again. I don't know. That's the way to do it. You just got to ignore him. But for some reason, Conte and Tuchel just thinks that this deserves a handshake. They go to shake hands, and they get a straight red card for holding hands, because Thomas Tuchel does not let go of Conte's hand, calls him a rat for not looking him in the eyes. They start jawing, and then it's just a fight. Like no fisticuffs, but like it's just a shouting match. This is 2 chihuahuas just yelling at each other, and
like we just did.
Yeah, like you two. And I'm Anthony Taylor, and I'm showing both of you red cards.
Well, good. At least you got one out of your book. I didn't know that card was there.
All right, but yeah, that was the most interesting part of that game, I think. I would love to hear from you guys. Tell us what you think about that match. Watch the highlights.
So this is what I want to see in the comments. I want to know, is the Nunez headbutt worse than the Romero hair pull? And your justification for each one. Which one do you think deserves the suspension and the red card? If picking between those two and only one gets the red card. That's what I want to see in the comments.
Do you want me to give you my comment on that now? Or should I put it in the comment too? I'll put mine in the
comments. Put it in the comments too. We'll pin it. We'll pin the best one.
Okay. I can do that. Sean, can you do that? Can you answer Brad in the comments?
Oh, he's gonna say Nunez because it's the only one that got the red card. I know what he's gonna say.
It's the only one that was a foul.
All right. If you are still listening,
I can't wait till Tottenham are in fucking Europa League.
All right.
And Conte leaves in January. I cannot wait for this meltdown.
Because we're gonna have Son at wingback by November.
All right.
I love how Reece James defends Son once, and your whole fan base is like, Son shouldn't play. Put Richarlison in. I love this.
No, they're just excited about Richarlison.
Hit the like, comment, subscribe button. Thanks for listening. I'm gonna try and end this podcast now so these two don't murder each other through the computer. But as always, reach out to us on Twitter. That's at KSBradG. That's at Whiteheart_Sean. I am at James Tiffany. We collectively are at Redcard Radio, Redcard_radio, excuse me. And definitely check back later this week. We will have a news episode coming at you Thursday morning, and a preview of match week 3 coming on Friday morning. These two will, I'm sure, be feisty in both those episodes as well. So it should be fun. Should be a good listen. But until next time, we will see you. Good night.